My goal is to get to this wall. Imagine its history of 2,000 years ago. Well, I have found a wall. Whether it is the wall or not, I don't know. That tower is up there to the right, so I'll just keep exploring. Okay, I'm near that tower, but I'm unclear as to what I'm seeing. Whether this wall to my right is old or new, I don't think it's ancient. But are the archways beyond it ancient? They appear to be so. And here, this wall, if it is the wall, were these endpoints original? And there are slots in them as though big pieces of wood were put there, between there and some other place. What was that function? These archways were part of an 1866 civic construction as part of this public park, including these beautiful stairways. Designed to dramatize and, I suspect, perpetuate the grottos, they're called, where there's apparently a natural seepage from above. Whether the stonework here is in fact carved out of the original stone or placed here, I don't know. These, what appear to be incrustations, I again cannot tell looking closely at them whether they were installed or were built around. Whatever. They do look like these pockmarked stones are in fact constructs, since we can see the stonework beneath them. Here an inside view of a grotto without much water in it, but pools below with the obligatory goldfish. Whether the inside of these grottos, as well as the incrustations, were somehow modeled by man as part of this project, I can't tell. But there certainly looks to be, like right there on the right, some human design. But a pretty artifact, to say the least. So apparently these slots are really for defense, I would suspect. For what era, I don't know. As I pan up this tower, try to imagine what artifacts and decorations were on the outside of these towers. And at what height the wall might have come in at. One can imagine that that arched area held some kind of statue glorifying some emperor. Again, another little grotto. Notice at the base of the wall of that arch are the large ringed devices for holding horses. The wires you see dropping down through those arches are probably to keep the pigeons from roosting inside. Looking at this tower, there are a couple of things evident. In other words, one, that stairway that gives access to the tower, so presumably this was obviously facing the interior of the town. It looks like buttresses of some sort there. However, the wall arcs around to two more such security towers, or whatever they would be called. And yet the tower itself is another 100 feet away from what would be the wall. So I don't understand. Again, notice inside the walkway or stairway going up along, giving access to the top of the tower. This is not a very thick wall, but like the Inca ruins, once you've taken in the essence of the wall, then you start looking for the anomalies, the nuances. For example, what is that circular hole for? And how did it differ in function from that slotted hole there? Obviously the slot gives you more protection against arrows and so forth. And what would that square hole have been? Recent? Old? Here the wall creates a lovely little excuse for a park with foliage naturally growing out of little crevices. There's so much rain here, I suspect, it's a drizzling rain, that everything is kept lovely and green. This obscure little sign tells me I'm en route to Forti di Belvedere, so I guess I'm going. Another view of that part of the wall I was looking at from above. I probably won't pursue this much farther, but this gives me the point. Talk about nuance here at the base of the wall. I would guess the people to my left who live here have aggrandized it a bit with some plants. Some small, quaint, additional examples of the accessibility of water in Florence. Whether these are kept alive because they're actually used or for ambience, I don't know. That's the Uffizi Museum and the tower of Palazzo Vecchio across the river. Don't know what that nearby round buttressed structure is. This is a statue of a wealthy man and his son, and the statues at the corner indicate either some of the things he was noted for or some of his achievements. The one on the left, I think, illustrates charity. There's one that illustrates the accumulation of wealth, etc. This statue was erected around 1850, I think, somewhere in that realm. At the same time that this was a little park, and then the steel and glass covering was put up in 1911. Pretty little park as I approach the Ponte Vecchio, and there a little church. To me it is the presence of parks, little spaces for people to gain some refuge from the city that gives character and defines, I think, even the crudest and smallest and most primitive of little towns. It's a little Lutheran church. I wonder if the structure to the left and attached is the... I think I was wrong earlier. This is the Uffizi, just yards from the Ponte Vecchio. I'm on the other side of the river, obviously, and just about to enter the Maximo Turisto. A little bit of an interesting vertical view. Somewhere southwest of Ponte Vecchio is another Roman wall, but this is a major entryway, it must be. Look at the size of those doors. Even the sub-doors, if you can see them, are giant compared to most of what we would normally see anywhere. Piazza della Calza. Okay, here is Ponte Vecchio. I've just walked here past the Palazzo Pitti, and I am guessing that I am here at Porto Romano, Piazzale di Porto Romano. And I think I will maybe walk down here for a ways, and then walk down here, and then walk down here, and then walk over here. Here's the train station, and here's my place. Having negotiated that busy little square, which approaches the bridge, here running alongside a long, well-lighted walkway. There in the distance, Just to the left of the trees is the tower at Palazzo Vecchio. And I think we can just see the tip of the Duomo dead center there. And then I am going to attempt to get across the bridge. Shouldn't be a big deal. When you walk around a city like this, it's vibrant. It's hard to imagine that we're suffering from quote-unquote whatever a recession is. And whatever it is, it really just seems like someone is scraping off the top centimeters of the icing that's already on the cake. I don't know what building this is that I'm passing, but I just noticed this elegant entranceway. These typify the little shops that you'll find. You don't see very many. I saw one thing labeled supermarket on the other side of the river, but this is normally what you see. You just have to know where to go and what time to go there. Another pretty storefront display. There, a menu, but closed. This is a building of Caterina e Maria de' Medici. What exactly it was or is, I don't know. But I suspect for the wealthy, this might have been her home. Central courtyard, or loggia. I've been trying to find myself a pizzeria, but I can't, they're all closed. This is some kind of monument to Cosimo Medici. There's the traditional statue to justice. I'm not sure the Medicis dealt justice. I think they dealt directives. In my confusion, I have spent the last half an hour since I came across the bridge, almost an hour really, roaming around, only ending up always at the river. I think I finally got myself where I can get out of, which ironically is the place I was most lost 8 years ago. Retracing my steps from the first day, this is San Michele, or San Michele. The road looking back down to the Duomo at night. And looking straight up Giotto's tower. In the front of the church. And across to the baptistry. This is my second pizza, and it's what pizzas are supposed to be. I cannot tell you how good it will be until I am finished, but I can guarantee you it will be very, very good. Now to poke around in here, there should be different vegetables. There's mushrooms, as probably artichoke, tomato of course, and some lettuce on top. And